Hello everyone and welcome back to another Movie Nights TV review. Today we are talking about the first 4 episodes of The Acolyte. That was the number of episodes that I was allowed to watch. Thank you for Disney for allowing that. And this is the latest series in the Star Wars universe. And this takes place hundreds of years before the prequel films. Don't worry, I'm not going to spoil anything, but I will be vague and try to explain story things without giving anything away, so forgive me if I seem like I'm tiptoeing, because I am. 4 episodes in, I can say I'm really liking the series so far. It's not perfect. There are a couple things that concern me with how it could finish out its second half, but I'm liking it so far. I actually think the first episode is really strong and very good. It was a great way to kick off the show and the idea of the show. The story itself is really compelling, and it's actually very interesting to watch. And since it's so far removed from everything else in the Star Wars universe, you can really feel that the creators didn't really feel latched on or like at a leash of anything. Like it felt like they could really creatively tell a story while also, paying homage to the other films and series and being visually consistent with films that are the closest to that era. And something that I'm really happy to report is that for the most part, the show doesn't look cheap like some of the Star Wars series kind of do. It looks very good. There are a couple scenes here and there where you're like, okay, there it is. There's the cheap Star Wars show I'm used to seeing, but for the most part, that's not the case. The show also has a really strong cast. Amandla Stenberg, sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, does a fantastic job. Really great performance. Dafne Keen is also great. Carrie-Anne Moss is great. Charlie Barnett, Jung-Jae from Squid Game. I'm sorry if I pronounced that name wrong as well. They all do a fantastic job, and each character is distinct and has kind of their own personality built around them. So when you meet these characters, before you even really know anything about them, you can tell kind of where they're at in their relationship with each other. Episode 2 essentially felt like an extension of Episode 1, kind of a direct continuation of the story that it was setting up, and it was pretty good as well. The third episode, Isolated, is very well done and very interesting part of Star Wars lore that doesn't really go explored, at least in the, visual side. But I did think its placing in the series was a bit odd for it being the third episode. I probably would have preferred if they just cut up that episode and edited them into the first 2 episodes, but I digress. The episode Isolated is quite good, although it is probably the weakest of the 4. The 4th episode doesn't do very well with the humor, but the drama it nails, and it ends in a very cliffhanging place. So I know why that Disney only sent out 4 episodes, because it ends in a place where you desperately want to see more, and now I gotta wait weeks before I can. But one of the biggest positives I can give to this show, other than it just being an overall really compelling story, is its action choreography. The action and stunts in this are pretty fucking awesome, which is a huge sigh of relief, because that, other than, some of the other shows looking cheap, other shows, especially Ahsoka, and I don't mean to, shit on that show, there are many things I liked about it, but some of the action choreography in that and in Book of Boba Fett just was slow. You didn't buy it. It didn't look visually nice. And thankfully, in this series, every action beat is fast-paced, in your face, shot and edited well. Only complaint I have about it is sometimes the blocking of where the actors are seems a bit odd, but it's also how it's set up. It's kind of supposed to be, and I don't want to give anything away. The 4th episode ends on a very positive note, and I very much so want to watch episode 5, but how the second half of the show plays out is really going to determine where this falls in the ever-growing lists of live-action Star Wars series. Because to me, I know a lot of people on the internet feel similar or different. Andor is the gold standard of Star Wars TV. It's a fucking awesome show that's leagues above the rest of them, in my opinion. Followed by, Mandalorian Season 1 and Season 2. In the middle, I'd put Obi-Wan and Ahsoka. I don't even know if in that order. This isn't a ranking. And then towards the bottom, you have Book of Boba Fett and Mandalorian Season 3. Of the 4 episodes right now, I'm really enjoying it, and I can kind of see being in the upper echelon of the live-action Star Wars shows. But it could completely shit the bed in the second half and then be disappointing. It's really going to come to how they tie this series together. But overall, I like the characters. I like the story. There are a couple things that I'm hit or miss about, but overall, I'm really enjoying the show. It hasn't blown my mind and got me like, oh my god, you gotta watch this show quite yet, but hopefully it's about to, with where they ended things in the 4th episode. Once the show is complete, I'll do a full spoiler review of the series, so be looking forward to that in weeks' time. But as of now, guys, once you get to see it, what did you think about the first 4 episodes? Please let me know in the comments. I'd love to see your thoughts. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you on the next one.